Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of MMJHL Game Day, live from the St. Centennial Arena, here a bit earlier in the week than we usually are for tonight's matchup between the home team, of course, the St. Vital Junior Victorias, taking on the River East Royal Knights. I'm your play-by-play commentator for tonight's matchup, also your host of the pregame, Graham the G Show Forsyth. I want to thank Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools for sponsoring us and supporting us here, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Be sure to check out their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today, as well as checking out their website at MakeCanadaFasteners.shop. We're also brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website for more information at GordyTomlinsonGoalies.ca, and to Terrico, thank you to them as well for sponsoring and supporting junior hockey here in Manitoba on G-Show Productions and G-Show Productions. Manitoba producers trusting this brand for over 80 years in the agricultural industry as they've been serving them there. Be sure to check out their website for more information on why that is and to take a look at their products that make them so trusted at Terrico.ca. So All-Star Weekend just happened in the MMJHL, meaning that things have been a bit different in terms of how the schedule has worked. Of course, there was the full slate of games on Friday, nothing on Saturday as usual, and then on Sunday only one game. There was a game last night, 4-0 in favor of the St. Boniface Riels in that one. Doubleheader tonight, of course, this upcoming matchup, the Victorias taking on the Royal Knights, and of course Fort Garry taking on Charleswood on the road tonight, heading to Eric Coy. There's also a game tomorrow and two games on Thursday night, one of those that we'll be covering as well. But as for a game that we were able to broadcast, not last weekend, but 2 weekends ago now, the St. Vital Junior Victorias taking on the Charleswood Hawks. At the time, the Vics could have separated themselves by 3 or 2 points in the standings from the Hawks, and down early, 3-0 in a huge hole, the Vics found some magic. To start things off, it was Rylan Hugan positioning himself in open ice to get ready to fire home his 35th of the season at the time to give Charleswood the 1-0 lead. Later on in the frame, Nicholas Guberman shortly after is going to get in on a 2-on-1 after Ben Zander feeds Matt Carlson. Carlson backhand passes this to Guberman, and he puts that to the forehand before beating Mason Tebeck to make it 2-0, but Charleswood wasn't done there, as Cam McDonald goes to the net and puts home a one-timer, ending Mason Tebeck's night and pulling him for Mag Grisiak. The Vics would trail 3-0 heading into the next period, but the Vics would shorten the score in the second period. Onto the third, Tyler Rubini slicing and dicing through the defense to snipe past Charleswood's goaltender, and Rubini wasn't done there. Back onto the stick of Malmus in his own end. Tijicat, he flips this up into the middle, where it'll be back on the stick of Tyler Rubini. His shot through, scores! Magic from Tyler Rubini on the toe drag release. Michael Spence would tie things up. Things would end up going to overtime after Rubini completed his hat trick and Spence tied it up, where it would be Jack Kaiser getting a pass, receiving it from Davis Koga off of a turnover. Kaiser in alone, dekes to the backhand and says, well, good game at the end of the day, as he ends it in overtime for his second MMJHL game day in a row. So the Vics would take that one 2 Sundays ago at this point against the Charleswood Hawks by a score of 5-4. And if we take a look at the standings in the league heading into tonight's matchup, well, that victory for the St. Vital Junior Victorias was a big one because it allowed them to get to 41 points in the standings. And they have 2 games in hand on the team that's tied with them now after their big win last night, the St. Boniface Riels. But for the Junior Victorias, that loss to the Fort Garry Twins, tightening things up in the standings on Friday night with that 7-3 victory that Fort Garry had. As we can see here, that Fort Garry only 4 points behind St. Vital, who's in 3rd place. So one of these teams near the bottom of the playoffs could very well jump up into a top 4 position, depending on what happens in these remaining 7 or so games for all of these teams. The Raiders Junior Hockey Club has been that one team that's been slipping though as the season's gone along. We'll be getting to see them here on the network on Thursday, as they'll be here 18-18-1, currently three-way tie with Fort Garry and Stonewall, but one game in hand on them. As for our game tonight, the River East Royal Knights, no longer on a long losing streak, but they've dropped their last two games in a row. St. Vital, of course, dropping last Friday's game against the Fort Garry Twins. As we can see here, the records, well, they're quite different. 18-13-5 is St. Vital, tied for third place, of course, with St. Boniface, and for River East, 10th place with a 7-25-5 record. If we take a look at the last 5 games, though, River East was able to get a huge win, 2-1 OT victory over St. Boniface to start off their February. To end, at the time, it was about a 15-game losing streak. They're 1-4 in their last 5 games for St. Vital. They've had some big-time wins in there, like snapping the Twisters' 13-game winning streak, not allowing it to get to 14, but right after that, they got blown out against St. James. Responded well, but it took a comeback against the Hawks, and yeah, from what I saw, I had a chance to see some clips from their loss against the Twins. Looked like the Twins are a different team than we've seen before this season from if you've watched them, and the Vics had some troubles in their defensive zone and paid from a really heavy Fort Garry Twins forecheck. But nonetheless, St. Vital has been playing really better, and they've been playing great in this year's head-to-head. Their actual first game of the season, of the regular season, was against River East all the way back on October the 1st. They're 4-0. They look to sweep the season series tonight. Their last matchup, of course, coming in January, just over a month ago. From tonight's 7:30 matchup, where the Vics ended up winning by a score of 7-4. There's been some closer matchups in here this season, but Vics have won by no worse than 2 goals this season. And yeah, in terms of these two teams, the standings definitely tightening up as this season goes along. It's crazy to see because, like, looking at the standings once again, ladies and gentlemen, like, even though St. Vital is in third place, tied for third place at this point, like I said, only 4 points ahead in a playoff spot right now. They got some games in hand, which is nice. Same amount of games played as Stonewall and Fort Garry. The only teams that are in a comfortable position right now is St. James and Pembina Valley. Very comfortable position as they got a lot of slack in terms of their records. But even then, I mean, Pembina Valley, they lost to Fort Garry. Not this past Saturday, since that was the All-Star day for the MMJHL, but 2 Saturdays ago. And the St. James Junior Canucks lost to the St. Boniface Riels, who are 2-6-2 in their last 10 games yesterday. So anyone can beat anyone at this point in the season. And even though the Vics have the advantage in the season series, this River East Royal Knights team looking to play spoiler tonight. Keys to the game for the St. Vital Junior Victorias. Well, keep it simple in the defensive zone, right? I mean, who knows? River East could have a heavy forecheck in tonight's game, but play it smart if you're St. Vital. Don't panic, right? Like you did in some of that footage I saw against Fort Garry from your last game on Friday night. You've had some time to kind of let it sink in, and you know you're a good hockey team. You've been playing some of the best hockey out of any team in the league in the last 10 games since 2024 has started. You're 6-2-2. You got great stars on this team, players who've delivered all season long. So just play your game. Don't play down to the competition. Like, even though River East only has 7 losses, I'll reiterate it again. Anyone can beat anyone in this league, and you know River East would love to play spoiler. A team that maybe some are counting out in the MMJHL at this point when they play them. And for the River East, it's a team, it's nothing to lose for this Royal Knights team tonight, right? I'd say make it difficult on the Victoria's defense. Use a heavy forecheck on them and throw it at them. You know, make them make the mistakes, and if you have a chance to carry, do so. But you want to try to attack with numbers. You don't want to get caught, because then you're in on you're caught, and there's a rush chance for the Vics that could happen. Yeah, stay out of the box. You don't want to give a Vics team that can move it well on the power play opportunity to do well. And Honestly, a key to this game is you need one of your goaltenders to have an outstanding performance, no matter who it is, whether it's Manny Minnick Jr. or Jesse Morris. I'd say the players to watch, well, we're going to go with Tyler Rubini for the St. Vital Junior Victorias for tonight's matchup. He scored a hat trick last time out. He was January's Player of the Month and could be part night for the Victorias' leading scorer and one of the best players in the MMJHL for the River East Royal Knights. A player that I think kind of impressed me last time I had a chance to watch him was Ralph Padua, a guy that can skate with the puck, can make quick little maneuvers with his skating ability. Expect him to be a player that potentially creates a lot tonight. And, of course, their leading scorer, Graham Maslow. He's going to be another player to watch simply because of the fact that leading scorer on the worst team in the MMJHL this season. That's going to do it for the pregame show, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back here for Puck Drop coming up next on gshow.ca on G-Show Productions on YouTube. In this game coming up, MMJHL Game Day brought to you by Mechanic Fasteners and Tools. Visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today for your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs, and also visit their website at mechanifasteners.shop. To goaltenders or goalies' personal video review service, be sure to check out their website at gordytummelsongoalies.ca for more information on what they do, as well as to Terrico. Servant Manitoba producers for over 80 years. Be sure to visit their website at terrico.ca for more information. Vic's Royal Knights coming up next. Before they get going, we're going to hear the national anthem. Instrumental, of course. Thank you for tuning into the pregame show, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment here for Vic's and Royal Knights on MMJHL Game Day coming up next on gshow.ca. This has been the MMJHL Game Day pregame show here on the network. Thanks to our sponsors for supporting us. Be back in a moment.
Well, we're here. It's a Tuesday night, an unusual night of hockey being played in the MMJHL. It's usually been Thursday, Friday, and Sunday games throughout the season, but changing it up as the season goes along. Happy to be here for tonight's action, folks, between the St. Vital Junior Victorias and the River East Royal Knights. Your host, play-by-play commentator Graham, the G Show Forsyth. Happy to be here. We're about to drop the puck. St. Vital looking to sweep the season series. The Royal Knights looking for win number 8, and for that not to happen here in this first period, of course, brought to you by Make-Can Fasteners and Tools. Vic start off by winning the face-off and getting it in to the Royal Knights zone. It's onto the stick of Graham Maslow, one of the players to watch in tonight's game, so that gets sent into the corner. Reese Malmus plays it across, down low, below his goal line to Seth Halati, who has it taken away higher up in the zone, but Halati gets the puck back and decides to bank it off the backboards. D to Reese Malmus. Malmus now up across to Anderson. Nolan Anderson, that is, as he still has the puck, sends it down low to a teammate in Gillison, who tried getting that on net, but couldn't. Up in the neutral zone now for Maslow and the Royal Knights as he gets rubbed out along the boards. Onto the stick of Gillison. Backhand pass to Rubini in the neutral zone. Rubini now, his shot fired on net and saved. Covered up by River East. Of course, like I said, this period brought to you by Make-Can Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Thank you to them for supporting G-Show Productions and junior hockey here in Manitoba. Be sure to visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. Visit their website, McKenfasteners.shop. Turned over in the Royal Knights end and taken out by them. As it's Jacob. His shot, his scores! What a rip from Anthony Jacob. Catching Mason Tabag by surprise with that one. He had a bit of time and space to shoot it. Decides why not, right? Just throw it on net. What a shot there from Anthony Jacob, who's also been a guest on the MMJHL podcast. Gives the Royal Knights the early 1-0 advantage here. As Jaquette receives the pass D to D. He'll go off the boards. It's out of the Vic zone now. And played back in. Dodging the hit of Nichaporig there, a Royal Knights player. He takes a tumble though, but it's held in at the line by Winkler. Banks this off the boards in deep, where he sends it for a player in Johnson to race for the puck, but loses that race, and the puck gets out of the neutral zone and sent back into the Victoria's end once again. This is Nichaporig behind the net, reverses it to Jaquette. Not liking his options, as Jaquette looks to skate it now. And he does. Jaquette maneuvering in, backhands it into the far corner for Connor Mitchell, where he goes to work on the forecheck. Kaiser there to support now as two Royal Knights players shovel this puck out and sent all the way back down into the Victoria zone, where it's Wirch. Gets the puck first, rubbed out by Maslow, but completes the D to D pass. Kaiser tries dragon pass, but can't in the middle. It's Carter Lee tries going up the boards. 1-0 Royal Knights, of course. Thanks to that rip from the right face-off circle by Anthony Jacob. Maslow down that right side gets cut off by Wirch, where he'll just end up tying him up along the boards. Puck squirts out now, and Wirch possession of it, pressured by Reynolds. Puck along the side closest to our broadcast camera right now, battling is Reese White. Tries going D to D, but this is picked off by Maslow. Tries going up to the point, can't. This gets sent out. With 16:51 remaining here in the first period of play, Anthony Jacob with a rip from the right face-off circle. Pass Mason to Beck to open the scoring early here for the River East Royal Knights. No doubt the underdogs in every game moving forward this season. Been that way actually for quite a while, but a team who found a lot of positives, even though they gave away 3-star players. I've heard that from what they've said, the room in terms of the energy is different. They've been in a lot more closer games, and hey, we're able to compete against St. Vital, a team like this late in the season. There's a building block for the guys, for the guys that'll be here next year to build some confidence late in the season. But right now, River East has to make sure to survive in their own end. As this gets played into the neutral zone, but mispasses Halati just past the red line, sends it into the night zone again. Passed up into the neutral zone for Wojtowicz, but bobbles it. Vicks and Knights playing a bit of catch. The Knights now in the zone. Glove save by Mason Tebec, though. Off of that chance coming in by number 24 and Jack Kabalik. His face-off will be to the blocker hand side of Mason Tebec. Puck one below the goal line. The opposite side, Nichaporic ends up turning it over. Padua is passed to the slot, ends up missing a teammate. And the Vicks take it the other way. It's Rubini in with speed. Rubini dangles, scores. Well, Tyler Rubini, the player to watch for the Victorias. That was my choice coming into tonight's matchup. Just the speed when you watch him. Arguably the fastest player in the league. And if you give him a bit of time and space, he's going to make you pay for it. Once again, slicing through the defense of the opposition. This time, of course, being the River East Royal Knights. And getting behind the defense, beating him. Only him and the goaltender to beat as he puts a backhand, forehand dangle in. I believe he slid it just on the ice as the Vicks leading scorer and point getter equalizes things here. Still with over 5 minutes to play in the period. Equaling the goal, of course, of Anthony Jacob earlier on in this game. And the sheet I have, all these players, some rookies on this Royal Knights team, of course, all going younger. They have no O2s left on their roster after trade deadline. As this high slot for Koga, near the point, rebound, given up but turned aside again. The River East goaltending. It's onto the stick of Maslow. And gets that to Reynolds. Reynolds ends up laying a reverse hit there on Wirch to protect the puck. The Victorias look to get this out, and they do. It's played up into the possession now of Kaiser. Kaiser tries putting this in blocker's side, but misses the net in the process. Maslow picks up a puck at neutral ice in, tries making a move. Maslow does get into the net, can't complete the move. Rebound there, but saved. He's picking up the loose puck for the shot. Was Kabalik, but was Mason Tebec, who's up to the task to get another stoppage in play here. Face off to his blocker hand side. And it'll be won by the Royal Knights initially, but nice play there by Carter Lee to pick it off and go breaking in the other way. Lee, his shot will be saved, and he gets blown up after the play. Hit on him. Nice save there. I believe, if my eyes serve me correctly, number 35, and Jesse Morris, of course, traded from the St. Boniface Riels. Trade deadline in that blockbuster of a trade, really, in terms of who went the other way. In Aaron Nielsen and Ashton Haworth. Both were big keys to victory for the Riels last night. I had a chance to actually watch that game, and let me tell you, Ashton Haworth, sorry to say, Royal Knights fans, but looks like, if anything, he's found his game again. A shutout against the league-leading Canucks to, of course, tie the Vicks in the standings, and they're back tied 1-1 as Blakely, his shot turned aside into the corner. How funny will that be if it isn't Jesse Morris? Might be Manny Minnick Jr. Nonetheless, got turned aside into the corner, and now the Royal Knights look to break up again. Down that right side, it's Wojtowicz. Tries dangling past Alati, but good D using the body, hard on it, is Kavalik in the corner. Rims this off, up the boards, D to D. It goes back down low, but River East can't hold possession of it. Cross-ice pass into the possession again of Halati. It's sent in, hitting the netting. That brings us to another stoppage in play here with 13:04 remaining. Tyler Rubini evening up the score here. Just minutes ago. It's a backhand, forehand dangle. See a right-handed shot. This is a turnover here by Nichaporic. Dangle in, somehow gets by Johnson, hits the post. He's taking advantage there of a turnover. Net off. So the refs will blow the whistle. Nichaporic having some trouble with the puck. For having that turned over. Almost fitting in that corner was Eric Johnson, but could not. It's the draw won by the Victoria. It's almost a turnover in the middle there, but they're able to survive for now. And Etchwadook gets it off the glass. And the Vic's able to break out, but turned over and sent in by the Royal Knights again. Losing his edge there was Bogue. Turned over again. Vic's into the neutral zone, onto the stick of Netchwadook as he tries to spin around. Nothing really came out of it, but the puck continued in. Is in the Royal Knight zone still. Austin Bogue, first one to retrieve it, beats Netchwadook to it. Turned over at the point, wide shot from Jaquette. Imbrogno out there, known to be a hard worker and a grinder for this Victoria's team, battling in the corner. Puck out the other side is Rubini there. In the high slot now, Imbrogno is shot right in the breadbasket of the Royal Knights goaltender. We got another stoppage in play in this game, of course, or for this first period at least, brought to you by Make Hand Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Sure to visit their website at makehandfasteners.shop and their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. Puck ends up deflecting, getting to the net, covered up again. It'll be another face-off inside of the Royal Knights end. It's Lucas Gillison out there, along with Nolan Anderson and Tyler Rubini. As River East able to get it out, trying to get a step. Now they do, getting past Reynolds. Nice poke check by Wirsch to defend on the rush. As it's picked up by Rubini now, looking to take it the other way. Look at that speed Rubini is building up. Dangles past Rubini to the backhand now. Takes it behind the net, gets laid out. A big hit. Vic still possessed. Nice dive block to take away the D-to-D pass. Halati tried sending that in deep, but cut off there by Royal Knight. Hibbert, that is my apologies. Got that on net, but an easy save made by Mason DeBeck. As Nolan Anderson establishes the zone. Draw pass to Gillison. Gillison in the corner now, gets that back to Nolan Anderson. This puck still along the boards. Vic's trying to poke it out. Same with the Royal Knights. It's onto the stick of Gillison. Dangles to the backhand. Gillison walking in. Tries going backdoor pass, but couldn't connect. As this puck still stays in. Royal Knights now connect on a stretch pass to Maslow, but couldn't do much else with it. Tries getting it to a teammate in the middle, but picked off by Gillison. As Gillison building up speed, kicks it out to Rubini. His shot, nice save made. Tough blocker. Save made at that to turn it aside. As the Vics still maintain possession. It's Koga now in the corner. It's up, sending this around the net. Out the right side closest to the Royal Knights bench. As the Royal Knights finally do get this out for now. Maslow now dangles. 2 Vics, 3 Vics now. Another Victoria at the blue line as he sends this down low. Or they'll go to work on the potential cycle, but no, it's turned over and onto the stick of Netchwadook as he cuts to the middle, still maintaining his possession in a delayed offside on the play. So River East picks it up. Cross-ice pass to Wojtowicz. He goes right back cross-ice. Ends up finding the stick of a teammate, and he gets it right back. Delaney at the line, tries sending it down low, but can't. Koga with the chance now, has Nechwaduk with him. Koga tries dragging through, does, oh, nice save. Made off that as Koga did complete the dangle. Back in the neutral zone as Wirch has it now, sends it on net. Left for a Royal Knight into the skates. Cross ice pass. Player received it. Stood up there a bit by Reese White. The puck gets sent all the way down for an icing on the play. Bring the pocket back down to the Victoria zone with 8:56 remaining. Score still remains tied, even though these two teams had their share of chances in this game so far. Draw to the glove hand side of Quebec, and it's won by Kaiser. Played back into that house area in the Vic zone where it's Reese White who was battling. This gets played up to Koga. He plays that to the middle where Kaiser tried getting to it but could not. Sent all the way down into the Victoria zone. Icing ends up getting called on the play. By the way, everybody, if you can't tell near the gate where the players get off, it's Denny Gagnon in crutches in attendance for his team's home game tonight. Still great to see him out there supporting. He was also there at the All-Star game supporting his teammates who made it as he was the selection for this year's Victoria's team. I've said it before, but do gotta feel for a player like that, man. Aging out this season, being this team's captain, their emotional leader. Seems like the Vics have been able to rally around that and come out okay. They're third place with 9 games remaining in their season. 9 or 8, it might be. Something like that. Can't remember off the top of my head. But the draw back down to the Royal Knight zone. It's one to Malmus. His shot glove down. Save made by Royal Knight's goaltender. Do believe it is Jesse Morris. Face-off will be back to the right-hand side of Morris. 1. His team centerman, as is played up to Graham Maslow. Maslow sends this in deep as the Royal Knights look to go on the forecheck on the Victorias. Laudy plays this into the middle for Malmus. Malmus cross-ice feed to Lee. Lee goes back, ends up on into the skates of Malmus. Couldn't cradle it cleanly. Puck squirts out back to the front of the Royal Knights net and taken the other way by Reynolds. Reynolds protects to the left, taking it into the far corner. Tied up now. 2 Vics there and 2 Royal Knights battling along the corner. Puck won by the Royal Knights on the battle. Shot through. And that one almost deflected into play. Out of play, sorry. Into the stands. But hit some wood, not roofing. And we will get a face-off inside of the Victoria zone. Last one's to touch it, of course, Mason Quebec. And to take the draw, Alessandro Imbrogno against Hibbert, as Hibbert ties up Imbrogno, but Imbrogno able to win the race to the puck, as puck is down low. Jaquette in to support and pick it up, but he gets closed off by 2 or 3 Royal Knights there. The Vics good support. They're able to send this out. The Royal Knights go off for a change now. It's onto the stick of Kaiser. Past the blue line. Left side, his shot gets disrupted all the way through. Think Zachary Stepniak might have got a stick on it. It's Kaiser now down low with the puck, protecting with that one hand. Gets played out in front. Machia couldn't get to it first. Nitchaport now off the crossbar. And this one gets sent out of play. The Vics getting their, could argue their top line back out. Centered by Lucas Gillison, and on the flanks of this line, on the right side, Tyler Rubini, and on the left, Nolan Anderson. Draw one by Gillison, but Unfortunately, not ultimately, as it ended up into a skate of a Royal Knights player, and they controlled for a moment, but Vicks get it back. Picked up by Rubini, dangling to that right side. Rubini throws it on net, nice tip through by Gillison. Looking behind him was Morris. See where it ended up. Right in front of him, as a matter of fact, as he gets another stoppage in play. 1-1 still the score between these two teams. Gillison back on the draw for the Vicks. Looking to win it this time, and they do. Nolan Anderson gets this back up to the point, sent back down low by Reese White. Back into the slot, Rubini. Backhand pass back door to Gillison, doesn't go. Looked like it was in his skates. Pass into the neutral zone now by the Royal Knights, misses, and they'll all be allowed to change. And one thing I think the Victorias didn't mention it in pregame, but I think it needs to be noted. This is a team who I think will be looking to get a lot of pucks deep and force this Royal Knights team to try to break out 200 feet and give them fixed breaking out all night long. Because if you look at their bench, they got about another D pairing and not even 2 full lines of forwards. About 2 lines and 2/3 in tonight's game. So yeah, the Victorias have a bit more on their bench. Look for them to wear down the Royal Knights as much as they can. That's why the Royal Knights, that 1-0 lead, so huge for them to start off this game. Want to play out in front as much as you can, especially when you have a tired bench. That one, nice job by Wojtowicz to take away the cross D-to-D feed. The nice stick diving there. Victoria's played up the right side. It's onto the stick of Rubini. Look at him going with speed down that right side. Rubini tries getting that to the slot for Gillison. Unable to complete the pass as the Royal Knights look to break it out again. Sent back to the defenseman and Carson Winkler, and he's just going to take it behind the net. 5:06 mark left in this period. Johnson dangling in the neutral zone, but loses it. So does Kaiser. As going break into the net, I believe it was Winkler, but stone cold there by number 1 in Mason Tebec. Halati behind his own net. Has this taken away now by Lewicki. Lewicki coming from the Charleswood Hawks in a trade that the Royal Knights made. Of course, the most active team at this year's trade deadline back in January now on the 10th. This is Rubini. Short pass, Kaiser. His shot side of the net doesn't go. Can't beat Morris, but he's back on it. Kaiser tries getting to the net again. Can't quite. Dangling through now. Kaiser, backdoor feed, scores! Well, spent a lot of time praising Tyler Rubini, rightfully so, for the things he's done. Well, what about Jack Kaiser? Back-to-back OT winners here on the network, and that goal right there to give the Vicks the 2-1 lead with 4:16 remaining was all him. He held on to that puck with strength, dangled through. The team protected it, put it into the skates through his legs to make the dangle a backdoor feed with the backhand that he threads through to Gillison. And Gillison pointing to him afterwards, knowing that it was Kaiser who made that play possible for him. He just needed to get into the right spot, and with that, the Victorias, after being down 1-0 off of the Anthony Jacob goals from Rubini and Kaiser, give them the 2-1 lead here. As the draw won by the Vicks up. Netchwood gets that to the point. Nichaporic shot deflects. Out of play. Get another stoppage in play. So that goal brought to you by Maycam Fasteners and Tools. Thank you to them for supporting Manitoba Junior Hockey, Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League Hockey. To be more exact, and scores Davis Koga. As we're promoting a promo, he says, "Hey, look what I'm doing." It's a snipe there from the high slot. Using the bodies in front of him to snipe it cleanly off the post. Accurate shot to give the Vicks a 3-1 lead. That goal brought to you by Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, our first period sponsor. Like I said, thank you to them for course, supporting Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League Hockey and G-Show Productions on the network, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. And for Davis Koga, that shot has looked like a weapon for him most recently. That will be Blakely. Feeds Carter Lee. Streaking down the middle there, going to the net. Is played into the neutral zone. Onto the stick now of Wojtowicz as he slides it through. Forehand underneath the stick past Jaquette, but he rubbed him out. As Jaquette battling with Wojtowicz now behind his own net. Gets rubbed out there by Jacob, but Jaquette was able to make the pass. The Vicks break in. Blakely now has that shot. Not get cleanly through. Tried to feed him in front was Carter Lee, but couldn't. As a shot blocked there by Carson Wirch with 2:43 remaining. Number 24 in Kavalik gets rubbed out there, couldn't complete the dangle. Shot blocked at the point from Stepniak by his own player. Into the corner now. Farhand corner as Wojtowicz plays it back up to the point. That shot, Stepniak from the point. Shot deflects wide of the net. As the Royal Knights look to go to work, trying to generate something here late. But puck goes out of play. We'll get a stoppage with 2:16 remaining in this first frame. So the Vicks getting a change. Nechwaduk, Machia, and Imbrogno out there to take a face-off against Raf Padua, who Padua loses it to Imbrogno. And DDD, the Vicks go off to the boards. Played up middle seam to Imbrogno, kicks it out to the right side. Her teammate gets to Nechwaduk, tries going back door with the backhand pass, but couldn't complete it. Into the skates now. Nechwaduk somehow gets a shot off, turned aside by Morris. So we bleed into the final 2 minutes of this opening 20. Halati pinching up at the line. Nechwaduk in for support. Halati jumping up now. Can't get that pass to Imbrogno in the high slot as he was waiting there. Malmus right away in his own end. Finds Nechwaduk. Building speed. His shot can't get through that screen he was trying to shoot through. But Vic's still possessing as Imbrogno up to the point. Shot gets through from Malmus. Nichaporic. But turned aside. Puck all the way down for what should be an icing. Bring it all the way back down into the Royal Knights zone for a late offensive zone faceoff. Luke Gillison, Nolan Anderson, and Tyler Rubini back out as Gillison wins the draw to the stick of Rubini. He plays it back down low. So this gets rimmed around and out. In the neutral zone, waiting is Maslow. Tries dangling through with the backhand, but couldn't. This is picked up in the neutral zone by Gillison. Now in driving to the net, Gillison played it to the net, but Rubini couldn't tap that one in as the puck was sitting there for him to potentially score a second of the game. Gillison, first one to the puck. So the Vicks send it down low. Forces Hibbert to take it behind his own net. Hibbert now looking to break out. Does so, skates through the middle for playing it up left in the neutral zone to a teammate. It's to Reynolds, his backhand shot. Not as accurate as he would have liked it to be, but still controlling down low. Taking it to the net. Nice stick save there by Tebekin tight as the Vicks able to get it out. It's sent in for Rubini. Ends up having the icing waved off. He gets rubbed out, losing his stick in the process with 18 seconds remaining. Played into the neutral zone here in these first 20 minutes. Delayed offside. That's rimmed around. Picked up by Carson Winkler. Takes it behind his own net. No forecheck on, and that'll do it for the first period of action. So it'll be the St. Vital Junior Victorias making their way off the ice with a 3-1 lead after period one. River East will follow. Yeah, and that first period brought to you by McCann Fasteners and Tools. That was a period where River East had their chances, but for the most part, the Vicks playing on their assignments sound for the most part on their own end. There's been some trouble, some turnovers with the puck, but that's par for the course in games. There's going to be mistakes. Mason Tebek has been sharp on every single shot ever since the first one he let in, and the only one from that rip from the corner by Anthony Jacob just wasn't ready for it at all, and Anthony Jacob recognized that and just fired it on that nice accurate shot. But then Tyler Rubini got this Vicks team back level, showcasing his speed and burning by Jack Kaiser going to work, showcasing his skill set and good puck protection ability and creating that backdoor pass for Gillison on the second goal. And, of course, Davis Koga showcasing a nice accurate shot on that third goal of the game to give the Vicks a 3-1 lead. The Vicks should be utilizing dumping the puck in and getting physical in on the forecheck, tiring out this River East Royal Knights team. Because, for one, I mean, skill-wise, if you come ready to play, you have the skill advantage. And two, I mean, you have more bodies than them. So the more you can tire them out, the better. And the more you can start to open this game even up more so. But they're in a comfortable position right now. The Vicks looking to keep things up after this first period to play on MMJHL Game Day. 3-1 Vicks lead. We'll be back for the second period to call here in about 5 minutes or so, where I'll have some more first intermission analysis and the call for the second period. This first period was brought to you by McCann Fasteners and Tools. Your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Be sure to visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today, as well as their website at McCannFasteners.shop. Thank you to them for sponsoring and supporting G-Show Productions and Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League hockey here on the network. We'll be back for period 2 in just a little bit here, folks. Stick with us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the St. Vital Centennial Arena here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, as it's MMJHL Game Day. Of course, thank you to Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools for sponsoring our first period. Terraco will be our second period sponsor, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Sure to find out why they're so trusted and why they have the reputation they do at gshow.ca, as well as you can take a look there at the types of products that they provide to their clientele. You'll be seeing more from them throughout this period on the screen coming up, but just to update you on what the score is, after the first 20 minutes of play, the Royal Knights started off with the 1-0 lead. But that one lasts quickly as Tyler Rubini would end up scoring the game-tying goal moments later. And Jack Kaiser would pull off some magic on the second goal for the Victorias, dangling through his legs, protecting the puck, and all that good stuff to find Lucas Gillison backdoor for a pass. Actually, no, it wasn't Lucas Gillison. It was Davis Koga. So Davis Koga has 2 in tonight's game. He scored the third goal of the game for the Vics, assisted by Rylan Etchwaduk. Not even a minute later, at the 16-17 mark compared to the 15-44 mark, he scored that from a beautiful feed by Jack Kaiser. Nolan Anderson assisted Rubini for his 29th, the first one, and it was Jacob's 4th of the season, assisted by Shea Wojtowicz. No penalties taken in that first period, and like I said, River East, they had their chances. There were some turnovers by the Victorias in their own end. For the most part, the Vics kept it pretty clean in terms of the coverage and them breaking out of their own end. Had some troubles behind the net at points. That's where I think River East is going to look to do some of their damage, to work the puck from down low below the goal line to the slot area, or maybe even run it back to the point. But the Vics outshot them 21-8 in that period, and Mason DeBeck was sharp on every shot except for, of course, the when he let in a rocket from the corner, a snipe by Anthony Mitchell that went in and out really fast. Couldn't even tell if it went in at first, but if you caught it, that right moment you saw it did go in. Jesse Morris also is getting the start tonight for the River East Royal Knights, making 18 saves so far on the 21 shots against. The refs are making their way back out now onto the ice. The coaches making their way onto the bench as well. First for the River East Royal Knights, and then Vic's coaches going to follow suit. Or sorry, that is the Vic's coaches that have made it on to their benches. At this point, we'll take away the score for now, and just to also update you guys, because this isn't the only game happening in the MMJHL tonight. The Charleswood Hawks are also taking on the Fort Garry Twins, where that game is happening right now. Or no, it is underway. 15:45 remaining in the first, so they've just started. Charleswood looking to, of course, keep pace with teams in front of them in the standings as we take a look at it here with a win tonight over Fort Garry potentially. And for Fort Garry, a win for them would end up tying them in the standings with a game in hand at that point with Charleswood. So, huge one tonight in the MMJHL, and this is a big one for the Vics. They're currently up 3-1 as they made their way back onto the ice. You can see Nolan Anderson there along with Connor Mitchell. Of course, Victoria is playing on the other side of things for this next period of play. But if the Vics are able to get this win tonight, they would move to 43 points in the standings, which, of course, every single point matters that much more at this point in the season. We'll show you guys the standings one more time. Like, look how tight it is
from third place to even ninth place with the Raiders Junior Hockey Club, right? And I feel like this game and the next game become even that much more important for the Victorias, considering that, yeah, even though you've struggled this season all year long really to beat the Raiders Junior Hockey Club, even though they've been close games, you need to get this one since they're out of a playoff spot, and your upcoming opponents aren't going to be easy. Pretty sure it's deja vu, actually, in the schedule for the Victorias, as it's pretty much identical from last month. I could be wrong, as we see the Royal Knights making it out onto the ice. They're, of course, looking for win number 8. It started off well for them in this game, getting off to the early one-goal lead. And the big question for them is, I think, how do things end up going for them on the scoreboard as the game goes along? With the shortened bench, how does St. Vital play it? All those questions and more will be answered in this upcoming period as both centermen, Kaiser and Hibbert, are at the face-off circle, and we're underway here. Vic's up 2. As the puck sent in deep into the Royal Knights end. And sent into the Victoria's zone, into the Royal Knights zone, where Jesse Morris will cover things up. Face-off will be to the glove-hand side of him. He faced a lot of action in that first period, and for, his development as an 0-5 goaltender is another shot turned aside by him on the ice. He has a chance to potentially stay with the Royal Knights throughout his career, but if he doesn't, no matter what comes from this experience for Jesse Morris, I think that River East has to be looking at him as a guy they keep here for the long term, right? Being an 0-5 and considering you gave up one of the most talented goaltenders in the league. That's what Duke finds. Kaiser tries to put that in, pulling it to his forehand, but couldn't stretch it far enough. Past Morris. Shot blocked from the point. Deflected in now on Morris. Nice save made by Iman on tight. And the Vics starting off with fast pace to start things off in this second period of action. Morris going to have to be sharp here. But yeah, he had an opportunity to, of course, play for St. Boniface last year, getting playoff experience. Has had a chance to also, of course, play a bit with them this year, finding some success. And now he's in a situation where, Manny Minnick Jr. is here, but the Royal Knights don't really have anything to play for except for pride and to build confidence heading into next year at this point, since they're virtually eliminated from the playoff picture. As puck gets out in front. And it's taken up by Lucas Gillison. Cuts to the middle. Gillison now forehand his shot. Turned aside by Morris. And sent out of play. Tyler Rubini, Dillison, and Nolan Anderson will stay out for the Vics. Lucas Gillison wins the draw onto the stick of Jaquette. Just gets that pass to Nichaporuk. Nichaporuk's pass intercepted. Couldn't find Rubini D-to-D attempt or cross-ice attempt at that point with that pass. Held in by the Royal Knights. It's Winkler who just sends this one down low. Victoria is able to get this puck up. Middle pass to Gillison as he dangles his way through. Gillison tries to slide it under the stick. Was looking for a penalty there, but didn't get it. Rubini picks it up. Rubini dangling pass now, making a move. Protecting, tries feeding Nolan Anderson in the slot, but can't. Works from the point. And Morris sticks up that glove. We'll get another stop and play here. It's a face-off. We'll be back in the Royal Knights zone. Puck has spent a lot of time there throughout these first 2 minutes. And, of course, this period brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry, as Reynolds plays that into the neutral zone for Maslow. Maslow
Tries dangling past Wirch, but couldn't dangle past Carterly. So the Vics start transition up the other way. Blakely, along with Carterly, poking at that puck. But nothing came out of it. Reynolds now at his own blue line. Has it stripped away, lost it in his feet. As Mitchell sends it back to Wirch. Wirch played it up to Carterly as it gets sent back down low deep. Vic's hard forecheck. But Royal Knights able to survive it. Hibbert building speed neutral zone. Cries cutting through, but nice D there by Reese Melmus. Standing him up. Puck sent through the house, but no one there. Knocking to potentially bury it for the River East Royal Knights as they look to start transition. Stretch pass ends up taking out a guy as he falls to Imbrogno. His shot gets his own rebound now. A nice save by Morris to keep it out. But the Royal Knights can't get it out cleanly completely. Shot now deflects high and banks back to Machia. Down low to Imbrogno. Short pass to Machia as he gets rubbed out. Machia now is passed back to Lati. Well, unfortunately, missed for him, and the Vics forced to regroup. So they go D to D. Machia still out there along with Imbrogno. Back to Machia, back to Imbrogno, backhand scores! Alessandro Imbrogno! As the whole bench going crazy. Believe that may be the first goal of his season, given the reaction. He's been playing good all game, let me tell you that. Nolan Anderson draping his arms around him. We will get the update right away to see if in fact that is his first of the season. What a moment for Alessandro Imbrogno. Yeah, by the reactions in this crowd, folks, that definitely is the first goal for him, I'd have to say. Yep, his first of the season, his 32nd game. Gets to the right place, has been making the right plays, and rewarded in this one. And fantastic to see the reactions from his teammates, too. You can see how much it means to them. But it means even more to Alessandro Imbrogno and anyone here to support him tonight as he gives the Vics a 4-1 lead, extending it to 3 goals. What a beautiful backhand, too. Slick hands from Sandy. Or Alessandro Imbrogno, my apologies. Calling him an old nickname. Funny enough, played hockey with him in my last ever season of competitive hockey. Get back to the game, though, folks. Enough of me yapping about that. Imbrogno recently given the Vics a 4-1 lead. It's Netraduk at the line. Has it poked away. Bogue there. Would have been tough for the Vics to break in anyways without getting disrupted as the Royal Knights were guarding the line there. And we'll have the face-off just outside of the Royal Knights' end. It's Raf Padua out to take the draw, along with Lucas Gillison, who ends up losing it. Padua ends up winning it. Turned over, now Sullivan ends up standing up his man. In the neutral zone, that puck to the net. Kept out. Nichaporik ends up dropping that to Gillison. Gillison gets it back to Nichaporik. That shot through, it scores! Tyler Rubini picking up a loose puck and beating Jesse Morris, and things look like they're starting to really turn for this Royal Knights team. They haven't really had any chances, any dangerous ones, if they've had any in this period, and it's just been the Victorias taking it to them. We're going to get a timeout here coming up from Blake Bonney and
the Royal Knights as they've been reeling here in this period. Rubini with his second of the game, extending this lead to 5-1. The game brought to you by Terrico. This second period, as I should say, most notably. Thank you to them once again for supporting Manitoba Major Junior Hockey and G-Show Productions on our network, serving Manitoba producers in the agricultural industry for over 80 years. 14:44 remaining. 5-1 now the score for the Vics in this second period of action over the Royal Knights. Padua gets tied up on the draw, and it's picked up by Nolan Anderson now. Right side, his shot just wide of the net. But the Vics able to keep it in. Shot from the point. That one misses the net wide. First one on it is Michael Sullivan. Gets one touch in the middle, but turned over at the line. Rubini, and now that turned aside by Jesse Morris, and now building speed the other way. Eric Johnson sends that opposite corner in the Victoria's end. The Vic's first one to pick it up. A bit of trouble though, below these circles for the Vics in their end. Wirch going to battle. This man pass out in front. I believe Tebek had to make a save there and close. And down come the Vics the other way. Tyler Rubini, his shot through, nice save. Just to stop it by enough was Jesse Morris. That pass intercepted or disrupted in the middle. Jaquette to Halati, that shot through, rebound there, but no one there to get quick enough for the St. Vital Junior Victorias as this goes all the way down into their own end. Battling there is Reese Malmus, far corner. River East winning the puck battle there in the corner. That pass up to the slot couldn't connect though, forcing them to go all the way down. I will say that it's a bit more jump in the Royal Knights step after that timeout by Blake Bonney. Short pass just into the Royal Knights zone, misses for the Vics, and the Royal Knights in possession of it. It'll be onto the stick of Reynolds. Reynolds now dangling pass, trying to at least, but ends up being stopped. But Royal Knights able to send it all the way down into the Vic zone. As it stays in the Victoria's end. Seth Halati, first one to retrieve it. He goes off the backboards, ends up just completing the pass to Malmus, where Malmus gets taken out. This isn't looking good for Malmus. It might have been a knee-on-knee. It seems like it could be that way. No call on the play. The ref's going to let this go. Never like to see that. Be interesting to see how long he stays out, or if he stays out here. As Imbrogno dumbing it down, Morris out to leave that for a teammate. Royal Knights look to break out. Kabelik was waiting for that hit there from Imbrogno as he finished his check. Machi off the boards, closest to the Royal Knights side. Ends up having this turned over. Bogue ends up playing this down low into the Vic zone for the Royal Knights as the Vics end up rimming that around. Ended up coming into the neutral zone, but back down into the Vic zone as they go double D-to-D, and D-to-D for a third time to Jaquette. His short pass, middle for Imbrogno as he takes it in. Alessandro Imbrogno played it to Rubini, but that pass misses number 9 and ends up into the crease of Jesse Morris. He gets a stop and play here with 11:26 remaining in a 5-1 game. Imbrogno scoring his first of the season, his first as a St. Vital Junior Victoria. What a moment from him to make things 4-1. And of course, Tyler Rubini scoring his second of the game moments ago. This puck sent all the way into the Vic zone. Rim attempt out, can't clear, but turned over at the line now as it's Koga. Out right side to Kaiser. His shot ends up being turned aside by Jesse Morris. Losing it in his equipment. Ends up in his glove, hands it to the ref.
Face-off will be to the glove hand side for him. Draw one by the Vic, shot on net, turned aside by Morris. Sits in the Royal Knights corner, turned over, Netraduke, shot high, but turned aside there by Morris. Another one gets deflected through. And Morris able to survive once again. Looks like it keeps one get stuck in his pads, that puck. Finds it again and gets it to the linesman, making sure the net's all in the right place as well. With 10:49 remaining, face-off will be to the glove hand side. Jack Kaiser taking the draw against Hibbert. Draw will be won by Kaiser, but nice play by Reynolds to jump that and pick it off, sending it all the way down to the Vic zone. Reynolds, though, couldn't be the first one on it. Or was he, as Maslow gets it. Couldn't play that to the point as it got intercepted. But Vics have to go the other way, all 200 feet. They want to make it almost turned over in their own end, but the Vics able to get it out. It's Davis Koga attacking middle. Koga looking for the hat trick, but hit the back end of a teammate. I believe it was Kaiser. Reynolds able to get it out again, and it's played back into the neutral zone, where Kaiser at his own line turns it over. Bad backhand pass, but Hibbert couldn't make him pay. Misses the net. Hibbert still on the forecheck. Gets that down low. Played out to the slot. That shot, Maslow couldn't get it through, as that was blocked. Trying to dangle through was, I believe, Halati. Loses possession. It's turned over again. Maslow almost with a chance. Gets sent down low. Halati this time making a outlet pass to Koga, and he's coming down the left side. Koga has a man with him. Dragon waiting his shot. Too high, though. Inaccurate. Missing the net. Sent all the way down again. Rimmed. Koga ends up getting it. There's going to be a fight in the neutral zone. Both players. One of them has their helmet off. I believe that's Reynolds. Both of the players having their helmet off, actually. No, sorry. Yeah, both of these players having their helmet off. The other one just in number 19, Malmus's hand. And if there was any fighting at all there, the refs, that's why I think they were breaking it up. Both of these players, I believe, would have been tossed from the game. So Malmus, along with Reynolds, get to stay in, and on a loss for River East for these next 2 minutes or so, whenever they can come back in, because Reynolds has been one of the players that has touched the puck the most and has been gaining the zone with some success for this Royal Knights team, getting some chances in on net. Players like Graham Maslow, Raf Padua have to step up their game in this one. They'll potentially start a comeback, but of course the Vics up by 4, 5-1 as it's played into the corner in the Royal Knights zone. They're able to evade the pressure and get it out. Anthony Jacob, the lone goal scorer for the Royal Knights, sending it into the Vic zone to the opposite corner in the middle. Nichaporic, D-to-D, ends up going to Jaquette, gets this up to Nolan Anderson, and Anderson ends up feeding Rubini, but pass a bit too hard, a bit too much in the air as well. It's turned over. Vics, though, have it back in the neutral zone. Both teams actually couldn't establish possession, and it's onto the stick of Anthony Jacob, able to fend off the check. Shot from a sharp angle, and Tebek able to squeeze the post just enough to deny. Tyler Rubini now coming down that right side. Rubini protecting, tries getting that pass to the slot area, but couldn't complete it to Jaquette. The Royal Knights now trying to come down the other way, but turned over in the neutral zone. Gillison trying to make it through. Turned over to Nolan Anderson, back to Rubini. Rubini up to the point where it's going to be a shot saved by Morris from Reese White's point shot. We'll get another stop and play here with a face-off coming back in the Royal Knights zone. In this game, that's 5-1 for the Vics, brought to you for the second period by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years. a trusted producer in the agricultural industry. This one, a 2-on-1 opportunity presents itself, but can't complete the pass there. Where the Royal Knights, the Vics, come down the other way. Kicked out to Carter Lee, back out in front, and Blake Lee denied by Jesse Morris in front of the net. So we'll get another face-off inside of the Royal Knights end. Be Connor Mitchell on the draw, going up against number 8 in Padua. Vics win the draw. Carter Lee try getting that to the front of the net, but couldn't. Along the boards, furthest from us, rubbed out and taken up by Eric Johnson. Johnson tries dangling or cutting to the middle, lost the puck. The Vics try playing this up the right side out of their own end, but cannot as this gets sent down low. First on it is Raf Padua. Padua protecting before going down low, trying to extend this cycle. River East does just that, still controlling on the outside. Left side, Eric Johnson sends a pass down low. That shot from a tough angle, unable to make it in on net. Touched up to the point again for Carson Winkler, turned over finally, and now the Vics have a chance. Coming down the other way with numbers. Mitchell, his shot, rebound, shooting for it there, but Blake Lee couldn't find that rebound, and River East able to survive off of the rush. Anthony Jacob now has it taken away down low in the Vic zone. Stepniak, his shot paddled out. A play by Mason Tebec. We'll get a face-off this time around in the Victoria's end. With 6:41 remaining. Draw one, shot, save made. A glove down by Mason Tebec, as he's been sharp for the shots he's faced ever since that first opening goal of the game by Anthony Jacob. This Hibbert on the draw, wins it again. The Royal Knights control. Stepniak from the point, paddled out again, out of play by the stick of Mason Tebec. A much better outing for him tonight. Last time he was featured here on the network, ended up having a short afternoon. Matt Grosiak was able to, of course, come back in that game, which it might go down as an all-timer here when we look back at the next few years of MMJHL hockey. But the Royal Knights, a chance. Eric Johnson almost getting that to the net, but it was blocked up. Royal Knights still controlling their best pressure they've had all game. Bogue, his shot gets through, tipped on net, loose scramble, but Tebec just able to survive. River East getting closer, though, to that second goal of the game for themselves. This is what you got to do if you're River East, right? Win on the forecheck, which they have been doing here the most recent moments of this game, and find a way to control, build some positive momentum for yourself. Get shots to the point and get traffic to the net. I know all this sounds simple and Captain Obvious, but keep it simple, especially when you're a team that struggled as much as they have. But the Vics into the zone. Nechwaduk, his shot fired hard but wide of the net. Vics unable to keep it in. Played back into the neutral zone. Now in left side are the Royal Knights. I believe that's Anthony Jacob, has that taken away from him. Mishandled the puck. It's Carson Winkler now in his own end. It goes to Sullivan. Sullivan, a little nifty move to protect the puck in his own end before rimming it around. As River East able to get out. It up to Kabalik, who pressures. Vics go D to D, back into the neutral zone, where that pass ends up failing for them. River East going D to D themselves before playing it into the Vic zone. No icing on the play because of a tip on the puck. Jaquette first one to take it back. Off the backboards, up to a winger in Nechwaduk. Off of the boards, finds Koga almost, but that pass unable to connect with his stick cleanly. Sullivan dangling outside inside on Nechwaduk. Before getting to Kabalik, gets a shot on net, turned aside by Mason Tebec. And once again broken out by the Vicks. Koga sent a quick pass back to to Nechwaduk, but couldn't connect cleanly on it. Heavy hit. Ref's going to call it. Interference on the play. This will go to the St. Vital Junior Victorias. To Jack Kaiser. 2 minutes for interference, I believe, or might have been boarded. I believe it was interference that they called. I might be losing my mind a bit, but for the next 2 minutes, the Royal Knights looking to build some positives on the power play. Late into the second frame. Where the Vicks leaded by a score of 5-1. Maslow in to take the draw. He loses it. The Vicks just send it down right away. Nolan Anderson and Davis Koga, the forwards, out for the Vicks, as Morris comes out to leave it there for a teammate. Nolan Anderson playing aggressive on the forecheck there. It's on to the stick of Winkler as he's building speed into the Vic zone now as he plays this down low for Padua. Too far to reach him. Stepniak at the point. Ends up sending this down low. Padua picking up a puck. It might not actually be Padua, who picked that one up. But whoever it is down low for the Royal Knights, controlling it. Up to the point to Stepniak. Stepniak D to D. That one to the slot area. But can't find a man as Winkler at the point. It's to Padua. Loses it in his skates. It's picked up by Koga as he sends that in on Morris, and the Vicks get a change at forward. Except Nolan Anderson still stays out there, takes it away from Graham Maslow. Vicks couldn't do anything else with it though. It's Maslow back with it, goes through his legs. As Maslow gets rubbed out, but ends up sending it up to the point to Winkler. He activates into the zone where Malmus will challenge him. Reese Malmus battling in the corner. 35 seconds remain on this Royal Knights power play. Seems like they might win the battle here, and they do. Looking to control. Reynolds down low. Can't get it there cleanly. Up back to the point to Winkler. It's going to be to Bogue now. Right point. Goes D to Winkler. 14 seconds. 3 scores! It looked like River East was having trouble moving that puck cleanly, even though they were still able to keep possession of it. And, obviously being the key there was their battle, their will, their determination to keep that puck, to win the battles for it with their strength and setting up one perfect shot opportunity where if you execute it, things can go well for you. And Carson Winkler doing exactly that on that blocker hand side, shooting that puck through traffic to fool Mason Tebec. Might have even got a tip there. We'll update you next period, but it's a 5-2 game now. River East looking to almost cut into it again. That shot almost getting through, but first one whiffed on, second one blocked. It's not able to be held in by Bogue. The Victorias controlling Gillison. His shot will be all the way wide and sent back down into the Victoria zone. Under 2 minutes remaining now in this period. River East currently, believe, off Carson Winkler's shot, extending the lead here, or cutting into the lead, cutting it to 3. This puck gets sent out. Victorias decide to send it back in again. It'll be Sullivan who's forced to start this breakout 200 feet up. Tipped out of play. You couldn't see it there, but out of play over the glass by the River East Royal Knights bench. And we'll get a stop and play here with 1:14 remaining. in period number 2. Padua losing the draw. But into the neutral zone, Mitchell able to send this in, or behind the net. River East able to start the breakout and go in. Padua, his shot ends up getting blocked. Sorry, that might have not been Padua. It was number 9 in Lewicki, sorry. But that shot from the side, turned aside by Tebek, and the Vics look to break out the other way. It's Carter Lee with it, left side, drops to Mitchell. His shot through, rebound there, but not a big one given up by Morris as he just gets it back in time. A bit of rough stuff after the plays, as Mitchell and Winkler keep drawing at each other as they head to the bench. .4 seconds remain. Draw one by the Victorias. A puck gets sent down low. The Royal Knights stretch pass, looking up as it almost, nope, not even close actually to connect. A nice try though. As with 20 seconds left, Vics get it into the neutral zone. Davis Koga will be whistled on the play for an offside, leaving 14 seconds remaining on the clock for this period. Jack Kaiser wins the draw. Netchwaduke wins the puck battle along the boards initially, but has it stripped away. So this puck gets sent out of play with 5 seconds remaining. This face-off now will be just outside of the Vic zone, as Hibbert tried to take a whack at that. No doing though, as Kaiser ends up winning the draw. And with that, we will go to another intermission here. The Victoria is up 5-2. So they make it off the ice first. River East following. Maybe one of the best moments from this season. Alessandro Imbrogno, could argue he's the hardest worker on this Victoria's team. One of them at least being rewarded with his first goal of the season and his first goal in a Victoria's jersey. He was picked up by them heading into this season before it started. He's played a key role on the PK all season long. He's looked good so far in this game, has put himself in the right positions and did there. And a nifty set of moves there by Imbrogno. Rubini, I believe, scored his second. And for River East, you know, they had more possession time throughout that period in terms of offensive zone possession time. Did a good job of winning some battles on the forecheck, even getting some good rush chances out, not spending as much time in their own end of time. Can't say that was the case near the start and for most of this period though. But as the period went along, things started opening up a bit more and we saw more chances from River East. Still getting outshot heavily in this one, but more shots put up by them and a positive. Getting a goal on the power play where wasn't a pretty setup, didn't set it up beautifully, but had that one perfect moment and capitalized on it with a nice accurately placed shot by Carson Winkler from the point. We're going to throw it to our promo screen here, our intermission screen. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes near the start of the third period for a bit more second intermission analysis and the call of the third period. Thank you to Terrico once again for sponsoring this second period and supporting G-Show Productions here on the network, along with Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League Hockey. We're serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years. Check out their website at terrico.ca. We'll be back for the third and final period of action in regulation here. Vic's up 5-2 after 40 minutes on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. Welcome back to MMJHL Game Day from the St. Vital Centennial Arena. Coming up for period number 3 in this game tonight, featuring the St. Vital Junior Victorias, as always, in their home rink, and the River East Royal Knights. And for the Royal Knights, they were able to get on the board again in that second period, with Kalen Reynolds scoring his 11th of the season, tipping one home from Cole Winkler on the power play. Austin Bogue also getting an assist. That came at the 17:21 mark. But for the Vics, it started off with them scoring 2 goals. They scored 5 unanswered up until that point, before Kalen Reynolds tipped home that power play goal. Tyler Rubini ended up scoring his second of the game to make things 5-1 at the time, but no bigger moment was displayed than for Alessandro Imbrogno, number 8. One of the hardest workers on the Victorias, and honestly in the league, someone that only had 1 point heading into tonight, but you know, has always worked hard, and you just love to see that effort get rewarded, and to see some skill from him. You gotta love it if you're the Vics. The fans, the crowd, their team loved it, as we see the Victorias entering back onto the ice right now. Shots ended up being 22-9 for the St. Vital Junior Victorias in that period. So, yeah, one more shot for the River East Royal Knights than they had the previous period. It's 43-17 in shots. The Vics actually increasing their shot advantage, which honestly, not really surprising, considering they looked like they had more dominant stretches of time in the offensive zone this time around, especially with them being closer to us. The Royal Knights still not out on the ice. They're only one coach right now is on their bench, and here they come now. We'll be showing you guys in just a moment. And hey, I mean, Jesse Morris should have had this as the sponsor for last period. We'll show it in just a moment. So we'll show River East coming out now, led by Jesse Morris, number 35. Even though he's led in 5 goals in this game tonight, they've been outshot by quite a bit, by quite a huge margin, 43-17. He stopped all but 2 saves, 2 shots out of 22 against in that second frame. So what I was gonna say is, with the way he played, it almost warrants, like, period number 2 could have been sponsored by Goaltenders, who was our third period sponsor. Your goalie's personal video review service. Visit GordyTomlinsonGoalies.ca for more information about what they offer. Basically a one-on-one video Zoom video review service for goaltenders. Thank you to Gordy and his brand for sponsoring and supporting G-Show Productions and Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League here in this great province of ours. Both players taking the draw at center ice. And we're underway now. 5-2 the Victorias lead with 20 miles to go in this one, as Jack Kaiser at the line dangles as he makes his way in further now down low, looking to protect the puck, and he does just that. Tight turn, Jack Kaiser tried dangling pass, backhand windmill, but couldn't down low. That pass up the middle, too late, as Koga turned it over and got to Kaiser for a quick shot. Vic still controlling possession here. Salati kicks that out. Right face-off circle, hash marks for Koga. Rebound, they're banging away at it as the Vics, but aren't rewarded with a goal, as Jesse Morris able to stand tall. D-to-D, the Vics go onto the stick of Reese Malmus, just past the red line, sends that in on net. I believe that'll be a save counted on for Jesse Morris. It's steered into the corner. Where Davis Koga in this top line stop for the Vics, picked up by Rubini. Now his pass into the high slot for Gillison misses, as the Royal Knights now try to get possession of it in the neutral zone. Onto the stick of Rubini, elusively evading the defenders. Sends it down low, up top now to Jaquette. He waged shot through a screen, but that one just wide of the net. And Nichaporic pinched up but couldn't keep it in. The Royal Knights the other way now. That shot, Hibbert, just wide of the net as it trickled into the corner. As Maslow in on the forward check, creating a turnover. That shot now from the high slot area turned aside by Mason DeBeck. As the Royal Knights looking to get some pressure. That one looked like Maslow wanted to tee it up in the neutral zone, but a good stick by the Vicks to evade it. It's almost like Maslow had to step into that one. Maybe waited just a hair too much, but it's going to be picked off by Anthony Jacob, trying to drive to the net. Does, but didn't have much of a shot as he kind of had a stick taken away. Wojtowicz has his shot blocked now on that right face-off circle, and the Royal Knights starting off with some good jump in this period. Puck finally out and cleared all the way down past the red line into the Royal Knights zone as the Vicks go off to get a change. Carter Lee, his shot from the half wall farthest from us was wide. Wirch now keeping it in and sends it in deep off the backboards and out into the neutral zone at this time. Vicks send it back in. So it looks like they're playing a 1-2-2 forecheck, protecting this. They're looking to protect this 3-goal lead for the remainder of the period. Down low, Royal Knights onto the puck first, winning the race there is Carson Winkler, pinching up and activating. Tied up along the boards is Wojtowicz there for support, along with the two other players, one being Carson Winkler, but the Vicks able to get this out past the red line and just dump it in. It's been about survival for the Vicks these last few moments. The Royal Knights starting to gain more opportunities by carrying the puck into the zone. And like I said in the pregame, one of their strategies could be to get in on a heavy forecheck on the Vicks, make their defense try to cough it up. That's happened a few times tonight, but River East just hasn't been able to capitalize on the 17 shots they had heading into this period. And of course, the Vicks for most of this game have dictated the shot totals at 43 heading in. They control it behind the net. Out in front, Halati couldn't unload that. Not in a great position for himself to do so. Nolan Anderson now protecting backhand in his own end as he's going to circle in front of his own net. Puck ends up getting into the neutral zone all the way down past the red line. Zimbrogno looked to be the first one on the puck, but he wasn't. Machia one touches that to Anderson. Anderson left to Jaquette. His shot turned aside there by Morris. Nichaporic now activating and getting the puck down low to the stick of Machia. Tries getting it back to the point, but can't find Jaquette, as he'll take it back into his own end before going D to D. Jaquette back D to D to Nichaporic before he goes cross ice to Nolan Anderson, where Nolan Anderson ends up just tipping this one down low onto the stick of Kaiser. So his shot ends up going wide, held in by Nichaporic. That pass out into the slot area can't go, as Nechwaduk finds Koga, trying to get it back to Nechwaduk, busting up the middle seam, but couldn't. And now here's Hibbert, cutting in now Hibbert. Nice move with the backhand, has the shot blocked there by Wirch, and now the Vicks look to turn it up the other way. It's Kaiser down the right side. Kaiser, his shot low, turned aside right back into that corner where he ended up being by Jesse Morris. Cross-ice attempt in the neutral zone for a pass. Couldn't find Royal Knights player's stick there. It's a bit of physicality down low. Finishing that check on Reese White. This is back down into the big zone. Onto the stick of number 12 in Koga. He plays this cross-ice to a teammate. Onto the stick now of Kaiser. His shot low, almost looked like it might have trickled behind him, but ended up going wide. The Vicks control. Wirch from the point, or he tried to get that pass to Koga, it looked like, in the slot. Couldn't connect. Rimmed around, Reese White keeps it in on that right side by the Royal Knights bench. Play towards the middle. Koga there. Nechwaduk uncharacteristic loss, like he looked like he was losing his balance. Matter though is Netchwaduk still touches it into a direction of a teammate, gets it back on his stick along that half wall, sends a pass out across to White. Out in front slot now for Koga, hat-trick opportunity, but could not pick the corner on Jesse Morris. With 13:20 remaining now, the Vics back to controlling. Try going back door to Koga. Couldn't connect. Koga getting rubbed out into the skates now as pass goes to Netchwaduk. Turned over finally into the possession of Graham Maslow. Tries dangling through, but good defense by the Vics. And would you look at that, Koga has it on his stick. Goes cross ice to Netchwaduk, who was changing, turned over onto the stick of Maslow now. His shot deflects off of Haladi's and out of play into the netting. Got a stoppage with 12:54 remaining in this third period of action, brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba, or your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website, goaltenders.ca, or GordyTumilsonGoalies.ca. Haladi able to outmuscle his man as his own end and build speed into the neutral zone. Haladi almost D to D there, end to end, as I should say, but couldn't complete it. So Vicks back in their own end now. Malmus looks to circle behind his own net and does just that before reversing to Haladi. That one too far for him, though, and now Royal Knights with the potential chance to turn that puck over, but could not. The Victorias now making their way up the ice. Nolan Anderson tries dangling pass, couldn't do it. Lucas Gillison tries doing the same thing at the Royal Knights blue line, but once again was stopped. Vicks now in their own end, going D to D. Jaquetta, quick little saucer pass to Nichaporik. Pass in the middle to break out, picked off. Nichaporik now off of the boards with the backhand. The Vicks able to chip this up the right side. Gillison tries again near the Royal Knights bench to chip it by, but could not. Puck gets sent out of play, and we'll get a stoppage here. With just over halfway gone, 5-2 Victoria's lead. We're scoreless here in this period individually at this point. This one somehow doesn't hit the lights as it gets deflected in high. The Vicks take it behind their own net. Nichaporik reverses behind his back to Jaquette before he found Carter Lee. Vicks now into the neutral zone. Right side to the net, tipped on net by Blake Lee. But good positioning from Jesse Morris to get a stoppage. 11:27 remains. Mitchell wins the draw, but might have hit a shin pad as it ends up in the Royal Knights' possession. That puck gets out just enough for it to be an offside for the Victorias. Draw will be just outside of the Royal Knights' end. Closest to the bench and won by them. But this puck ends up all the way below their goal line. Playing catch with Reese White there was a Royal Knights player. White just sent it in deep. Sullivan tries getting this off the boards. They do. Puck ends up hitting the roof, though, off of an attempt out. That might have been Reynolds or Maslow, one of the two who sent it out. Not even sending it out. It hit the wooden roof. Top of it. Getting a draw back into the Royal Knights zone where Imbrogno went to take it. Ends up getting tied up. So he's in the hustle on it. Loses his balance and causes a Royal Knights player too as well. Imbrogno able to get out of it. Chips it off the boards. Nice heads up play to get that to Malmus. His shot through but wide. Haladi looks like he's going to pinch initially. Imbrogno assumed his position covering for him, but couldn't get it. Scores! That play costing the Vicks at the line. You can see Imbrogno trying to cover for Halati, who pinches up, and Brogno loses his balance, and that allows for River East to outnumber them on the way down. A nice snipe using the screen to put it past Mason DeBeck. We'll hear the goal scorers in just a moment. First goal of this third, though, goes to River East. Vicks almost answer back quickly there. The 5-3 game now. Number 24, Jack Havlik, with the latest goal. This most recent shot stopped by Mason DeBeck. He's going to hold on, and the Vicks are going to have another defensive zone face-off here with 10:08 remaining. Draw one by River East to the point, shot wide of the net. Out in front, Mason DeBeck. Oh, that was almost close. Davis Koga and Raf Padua going at it behind the net too. All sorts of fun stuff happening here in what could be the last half of the game in terms of time in a period, or be going to overtime if River East is able to keep up this momentum. Raf Padua on the draw ends up winning it to Winkler at the point. Winkler, his shot wide of the net but through, as that shot from the point this time doesn't get through. Blocked by, I believe, his own teammate and Eric Johnson. Vicks looking to go the other way. Netchwood to Koga, but Koga couldn't cradle that clean enough and couldn't even get a shot away. Disappointing for him there into the right zone. Nice hand-eye there by Netchwood. Forces a turnover. Kaiser, his shot can't get through. Now a one-timer there. Quick release from Netchwood. Couldn't find the front of the net either side of the net. Kaiser's shot, or Koga shot, sorry, rather, couldn't get registered on net either. Of course, the Vicks outshot River East 43-17 throughout the first two periods heading into this third. That attempt to be played off of something ends up being played off of a Vicks stick and out of play. Or no, I'm sorry, off of a Vicks player's stick. So it goes out. Face off one to the closer boards, up to Maslow. Maslow now coming in, loses his balance, tries going behind the back with the pass, but hit his own skate in the process with the puck. Fortunately, he lost his balance. Rubini finishing a check, allows for Gillison to pick up a puck. Gillison tries feeding Rubini. Going to the net on that right side back door, but couldn't finish it. Gillison back to close off Maslow, and he does just that. Good hustle from number 2. Kept in at the line by River East, though. Low shot, turned aside into the corner furthest from our camera right now by Tebek. It's out of the Vicks zone now. Played back in, but a whistle will be called on the play. And another stoppage in play. St. Vital holding on right now to a 2-goal lead. It's more comfortable moments ago as well, as they were up 5-2 once upon a time, but not anymore, as Lucas Gillison in to take the draw. That line back out with Rubini and Nolan Anderson. River East sends this puck down low, where the Vicks will be forced to send this out. Ends up just going all the way down for what ends up being a waved icing on the play. This one should be an icing coming down to the Vicks end, and it is. We'll get a face-off all the way down into the Royal Knights end of things. Be the Lees out with Connor Mitchell. Draw one by River East. Carter Lee battling. Puck gets rimmed around where Kavalik, latest goal scorer in this one, would be their shot. Couldn't get through from Connor Mitchell as it's blocked. Broke his stick in the process. Wojtowicz almost had a chance the other way, but the Vicks able to shut it down off the rush. So they go D-to-D, Jaquette to Ninjaporek up top. A bit of a risky pass, but makes it through to Carter Lee. Gets played down low. Oh, bad bounce off of Mason Tebek. Ninjaporek fends on the pass. Vicks got to settle down here. They do. Completes that pass to Blakely. Has Carter Lee with him. A long
with Machia. But River East shutting down that chance in on that 7:20 to go. Down to that shot from out wide, way high of the net, but able to establish some presence on the forecheck. Down low, Wirch looking to be closed off by Kabalik. Wirch just fast enough though as the Vicks able to break it out again into the neutral zone just past the red line. Carterly dumps it in. First one on it is Imbrogno. And credit to River East for having a short bench. They look like they haven't lost their jump as this game has gone along. So I feel like part of that has been, it seems like this third period, they've had some of their most zone time, but these icings don't help. So it'll be all the way down for an icing. So we are your official broadcast partner of the MMJHL, and, well, for goaltenders, both of them in this game showing some signs of excellent play. That's what our third period is brought to you by your goalie's personal video review service. Check out their website at GordieThompsonGoalies.ca for more information. The Vicks in the neutral zone. Halati controls it, plays it up the left side. It gets to Koga, to Kaiser, to Netraduk. His shot turned aside by Morris. Bogue has that puck. Not cradled cleanly by him. River East able to break out, though. It's onto the stick of Johnson. Eric Johnson behind the net, tried getting that out in front, but couldn't. Covered up well by the Victorias. That puck up that right side. And into the neutral zone where it'll be River East coming in. Winkler, his shot, just wide of the net. Winkler came in with some speed, attacked with some purpose on that one. He pinches up again. Winkler down low, out in front the slot, but could not connect. And Kaiser will send this out. Out with Netraduk and Koga right now. Vic's almost getting caught on a bad change. Nice effort from Winkler to poke that from Jaquette. And it'll be a turnover from the Vicks. Down low, Eric Johnson will be beat by Jaquette. He's in good position. Gets this up the middle successfully to Kaiser. And they kick it out to the left. Kaiser did to Koga. Koga down low now with the puck. With some speed. Building it. Plays it off to himself off the boards. What a move there. Some creativity from Davis Koga. Snitchaporik playing up now. Sends a pass across ice to Graham Maslow. Maslow gets it up. Tipped, though, by Reynolds on the way by, so no icing on the play. Back to retrieve it is Wirch. Has that sticked away initially by a River East player. The Vicks, a little tic-tac-toe out of the zone, but turned over right away into the neutral zone. Wirch now tries banking it off the boards to himself, but could not. And here's a chance now for Gillison to beat him. No call on the play. Fans calling it, but you ain't getting a call this late in the game like that. Although it has happened from time to time. Hibbert shot, looking to pick the corner, but can't, as it's just wide. That line going to work now. Reynolds getting it up to the point, but too short as Rubini picks up with Nolan Anderson. Back to Rubini, scores! Well, just when you think maybe, just maybe, could River East be building good momentum for themselves to come back? Well, the top guys on this Vicks team say, no, sir, not tonight, as Tyler Rubini talked about it already tonight. His speed is so evident in his game, uses his speed to rush up nicely into the neutral zone, creating some extra time and space for himself to pass one to Nolan Anderson, and ends up continuing skating to the net and beating his man with enough speed to receive a pass back from Nolan Anderson. Believe he called from it. I think I might have heard it, to be honest with you. The best players in the league know how to use communication well, and just a beautiful passing play by Anderson and Rubini for his hat-trick goal. be honest, forgot about that. Forgot he scored a second goal tonight. Another hat trick for Tyler Rubini. That's back-to-back hat trick performances on MMJHL Game Day. Will he get player of the game for the Vics? Stay tuned for after the game coming up in a short little post game for our players of the game for both sides in tonight's game. The Royal Knights pass to the middle for Kabelik. That pass inaccurate and covered up well was Kabelik by a Vics player. Halati plays it up to Carter Lee. Here's going to be a fight. Oh, here go Kabelik and Carter Lee with each other. Lee has his helmet off. And Lee ended up, I believe, giving a two-hander to Kabelik afterwards. Kabelik didn't like that, gives him a two-hander back. The two start jostling with each other. Both are going to go off for coincidentals. Kabelik comes to retrieve his stick. And I believe his night will be over. So he's going to be going off. The most recent goal scorer in this game. I'll be surprised. Will Carter Lee also be going off? Or will he be staying in the box? Interesting. He's still there with his helmet off. The linesman having some discussions with him. One of the head refs having a discussion with the River East Royal Knights at their bench. You can see right there, Koga. Newest addition to this victorious team at trade deadline, chatting with his line mates and Kaiser and Rubini there initially. Gonna see, is this just coincidental? It's not for the moment. The Vics look like they'll be on the power play going on here, so I believe, yeah. So, yeah, it was Kabelik who ends up giving him a cross check at first. Ends up getting kicked out of this game, and he serves a bit more, which means the Vics able to get back on the power play here late in the game. Koga to Nechwaduk. Nechwaduk left side. His shot scores. Oh, what a rip from Nechwaduk. Down that left side. Had some room to work. Executed pretty quickly there by the Victorias. And nothing much that Morris can do on that one. Except for maybe just go, wow. What a rip from Rylan Nechwaduk. His first tonight. Already had a few points in this game. In the last 2:43 here remaining. Vics now up 7-3. Looking for potentially some more here to end things off. Jaquette at the point. His shot off the boards and another goal. Might have been Machia or Nolan Anderson, whichever one it was. Yeah, I think it was Nolan Anderson. Taking a rebound off of a missed shot off the backboards from Brady Jaquette. And with that, the Vics extend to 8-3. River East with one more potential chance. Trying to go through his legs was Reynolds, but couldn't complete the move. As Nichaporic skating up, activating. Of course, playing D. As this season has gone along. It was Dario Machia who ended up scoring the goal, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Another hard-working player for the Vics, who's also shown some skill with the puck this season. That time being in the right place at the right time. Nolan Anderson trying to fend off the check-in of Maslow. Down low as River East controls. Stepniak, that one almost going through, hits the post.
And so close to giving Royal Knights their 4th goal of the night. What an opportunity. Nice job, Maslow winning the battle in the corner, able to work that cross ice to the D opposite side. Get a dangerous chance on net. The minute 39 remaining.
It'll be blocker hand side to Kaiser, or to Tebek, that one saved by Tebek, and tight. Another one from the side, and the Vicks able to possess the puck going up. Nechwaduk ends up losing it. Ralph Padua takes it away. A minute remaining now off of the boards at the Vicks benches. Wirch up that left side, and we're into the final minute of this one. Score 8-3 for St. Vital. Puck into the neutral zone. It'll be St. Vital's 19th win of the season. They'll move to 43 points. River East will suffer their 26th loss in regulation. Kaiser down the middle, gets taken out, going to the net. No call on the play, which makes sense. Not much time left remaining. Oh, just let them play this one out. As the Victorias looking to get one more stop, they do. River East looking to get one more goal. Can't get a shot on net right now. 16 seconds remaining. Vicks close them out. Pick up the puck high up in their zone where Nechwaduk gets it. Plays it back to Blake Lee. And not sure what happened last year. Didn't do the research, but I know for this year it's going to be sweeps in the season series for the St. Vital Junior Victorias over the River East Royal Knights. Winning by a big-time score of 8-3 tonight. As Mason Tebek's teammates go over to congratulate him, giving him hugs. The Vicks, the first team off. They skate off with a win tonight over the River East Royal Knights, giving the Vicks the 5-0 series win in the season series. The Royal Knights now coming off. And for River East, they started off early on in this game with the 1-0 lead off of Anthony Jacobs' goal. But then the Vicks would score 5 unanswered. Tyler Rubini would register his 2nd hat-trick in a row here on MMJHL Game Day. Vicks leading scorer and point getter Alessandro Imbrogno, his first career goal with the St. Vital Junior Victorias to make it a 4-1 game at the time. And even though River East pushed a bit at points in this game, made things close here at 5-3, well, those top guys from the Vicks making it happen. Tyler Rubini and Nolan Anderson tonight. And yeah, you know what? Player of the game. Let's start off with the River East Royal Knights. Well, we're going to give it to a player in... tough to say here, to be honest with you. Because, you know, there were some different goal scorers in this one. Did enjoy the way that Reynolds played in tonight's game, though. To be honest with you, he ended up tipping home that 2nd goal of the game. We'll run you through again. Yeah, Kalen Reynolds ended up having the 2nd goal of the game. He was making plays happen throughout this one, so providing some offense, standing out, in my opinion, the most out of the players up front. And Graham Maslow as well. It's just he didn't have a goal in this one, so that's why it's going to go to Kalen Reynolds. And for the Victorias, I could give it to Tyler Rubini again, but we're going to give it to Alessandro Imbrogno. Congratulations to him on playing a great game tonight. Playing and good in both ends and being rewarded with his first ever goal in the MMJHL with the St. Vital Junior Victoria, showing off some nice skill. He was doing the little things right, hard working for the Vicks tonight, and didn't really make any mistakes. That's why he gets player of the game. Congratulations to him again on his first ever MMJHL goal with the St. Vital Vicks and his 2nd point of the season. There were times where it was scary for the Vicks,
but they were able to get out of it. They win this one 8-3. Thank you to goaltenders for sponsoring period 3, for supporting junior hockey here on G Show Productions in the MMJHL. Thank you to Terrico and McCann Fasteners and Tools for being sponsors as well for tonight's game. The Vicks win this one, sweep the season series, and move up to 43 points in the MMJHL standings. We'll be back here on Thursday night for the Raiders Junior Hockey Club and St. Vital Junior Victorious for another MMJHL Game Day. I've been your play-by-play commentator, Graham the G Show Force. I thanking everyone for tuning in. Saying so long and good night here from St. Vital. Vicks hold on to win, or extend their lead and power through with an 8-3 win here tonight. Good night, everybody.